Here we go. Hello. Yes. Hello. How are you guys? Hi, Tanika. Thank you for joining us tonight. Getting ready to get started in a minute. In just a few minutes. Getting this thing set up over here and we are ready to rock and roll.
Here we go.
All right.
Hey.
We in the building.
Got it.
All right. So what do we have going on over there? All right. Well, hi, Ro. How are you? Hi. All right. So, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's get this show on the road. Okay, you guys. My name is D.Renee. I am the transformation specialist. I support women with overcoming obstacles to help them transform in life and business. I have been a licensed therapist for like the last 15 years. And I am an author of a new book called Transformation, The Journey Back to Me, The Woman's Guide to Self-Discovery. So I help support women with rediscovering who they are so that they can elevate in life and business. So that with self-esteem issues, overcoming issues from their past that's basically been keeping them down from being able to move forward in life, have healthy relationships, as well as that's been causing them to have problems in maintaining or either forming a business. So that's me.
And I am Stephanie Rochelle, your life coach and your relationship rehab specialist. And for some of you who don't know my story, years ago I lost my son to a brain tumor, devastated. I also struggled with fear when I was thinking about having the next child. You know, that was hard for me. Pushed through that. And I also, after that, years passed, I was married like almost 30 years. Been together since 10th grade, almost married 30 years, and got divorced and pushed through that. I am resilient. I am resilient. I invested in myself. I invested in myself to get back to Stephanie. Okay? I prayed every day, set up daily rituals so that I can push forward and move into my new normal. And I'm ready to help.
That we're wanting to do. So I had a conversation with some of my girlfriends about some things that were going on. And basically it's that girlfriend talk that when you have some things that you want to talk about, whether it's relationship, like, nothing is off the table, okay, when it comes to your girlfriends. So when you need to have those conversations, it's almost like, well, meeting in the ladies' room, right? Let's have a meetings in the ladies' room. So that way that we can talk about any and everything that's on our heart, from relationships, from friendships, from business to children to whatever it is. That is what we decided that we wanted to bring to you guys so that you can join in on all of the fun and get questions answered. You can join in and just be a part of this. And we want to make this fun. We want to make this interactive.
Definitely interactive.
And Miss Stephanie will tell you guys on how we plan to do that.
Now, this is all about growing as women. This is why we're doing this, like she said. But we have a fishbowl that we started with a few conversations that we think will be pertinent to us girlfriends. But we want you guys, if it's any other topics that you want to talk about, put them in the comment box. We'll add them to the fishbowl. And week after week, we'll be going through the fishbowl, picking something out, and we're about to get into it.
Hi, Cassandra. Thank you for joining us. So hopefully you guys understood our fishbowl conversation. So we're not going to have a topic for you guys every week because it's too easy for us to pick a topic, do a whole bunch of research, and give you all this stuff, right? Because Stephanie is this expert relationship person. She has been married for 30 years, was married for 30 years in one relationship. She's been married again, you know, for the last, 2 years?
2 years.
I mean, she is an awesome person. She has a plethora of life experience. And because I am a therapist as well as a transformational life coach and consultant, you know, we thought it'd be more fun just to be able to just pick a topic every week. So that's how yes.
Depends on how much time you got.
Yes. So that's how our fishbowl conversations came about. So we would like for you guys, again, to join in on the fun by sending your topics to us. You can send topics to me at info@tlccs.net, or you can send topics to Stephanie.
My email is Stephanie Rochelle Consulting, and I'll put it in the comment box.
Okay.
At gmail.com. But we'll do that as well.
All right. So again, we want this to be interactive.
Yes.
So here we go. I'll shake and you pick.
All right.
You see our fishbowl? Y'all like this? Our fishbowl? Not, you know, we can't really put a real fish in here, but you know, we do a little something for you.
What's
people.
it gonna be? Let's see. Bam!
Okay.
We are kicking off the segment. We are kicking off the segment with intimacy issues.
Wow.
Intimacy issues.
Okay, ladies. Okay. Intimacy issues. Like, we need you guys to post questions or concerns that you all might have as it relates to intimacy issues. I mean, it can go anywhere, but we're going to keep this
PG.
We're going to keep this PG. You know, if we have to create something outside of the live to go more in detail about things, then we'll do that.
Yes.
So, but just for, you know, Facebook, we're not trying to be banned. So if you would post your questions and we will go ahead and get to speaking about this. Miss Stephanie, since she is our relationship expert and rehab specialist, I'm gonna let you take this one, honey.
Well, you know, for me, intimacy issues, you know, believe it or not, even though I'm doing this live, I am fairly shy. But with my mate, of course, you know, I don't mind, you know, being intimate. Of course, you know, we in a new marriage, so of course.
Okay.
Of course.
That's right. Of course.
Of course.
At least if it wasn't, it'll be issues.
So of course, you know, we don't have any intimacy issues. But for some, I think I'm going to speak on the fact of when you say, for instance, be in a relationship for a long time, keeping the intimacy. How about that? How about we start with that until you guys start chiming in and giving us some other stuff?
That sounds good to me.
So for me, as
Teach
far
me.
as
I haven't been married, y'all. Sorry.
well, it starts with the date night. Okay, for instance, okay, we always date anyway, but if you know you're about to go out, it starts way before you go out. You know, it starts with that phone call earlier in that day from work. You know what I mean? I mean, you break the whole day down. You just set the mood from the beginning of the day. Not necessarily when you get ready to go out. You know, you getting dressed and all of that. You start the mood from the beginning of the day. My husband is great at that. You know, my husband is the type, you know, we always have flowers around here. I love flowers. So I don't just have flowers like in the kitchen. We got flowers in the family room, as you see. We got flowers in the kitchen, you know, so it starts the mood. All of these little things is what starts the mood. And it doesn't have to be the guy always doing it, ladies. You know, you can start the mood as well. But it goes throughout the day, not just, you know, you guys are going out, then you come home, and then bam. No, it starts all day. It makes it all better.
Mm-hmm. And let's talk about how intimacy is not just like a sexual act. Intimacy goes far beyond that. Intimacy is more like the affection, the attention, the oneness, the closeness, the connection that you feel with your spouse or your mate. So intimacy isn't, people oftentimes think that intimacy is just about the sexual part of it, but it's far beyond that. Because a lot of women, you know, they like mentally you have to stimulate them in order for that intimacy and that connection to come forth.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can be nice looking, you can be this and you can be that, but it takes a lot more to be able to, you know, get the intimacy, get the connection.
We gotta feel the love. We gotta feel the love. I need that phone call in the morning. I need that pat on the back before I go out the door to work. You know what I mean? I know that he's thinking about me. You know, I need those things. He needs those things as well, ladies. It's not always one way. If you can get it going both ways, then you can do it throughout. And that's how you do it. Because I started out this conversation with making it last for a long time. You have to continually do it. And sometimes people fall off. Well, recognize that it got a little stale and pick it right back up.
And one thing, let me tell you guys, okay. So I recently came back from California because my grandfather passed away. But one little cute thing I noticed, okay, so my dad is a business owner, and my bonus mom, she's not my stepmom, she's my bonus mom. She's been around since I was like in 7th grade or something. So one cute thing that I did notice on both of their desks, and I don't know if they might get me for this, but they both have these laptops, right? So I saw this little sticky note that said, "I love you." Like my stepmom had one and my dad had one on his laptop in their room, in their office area. And I just thought that was, I didn't say anything to them, but I just thought that was like the cutest thing ever, because that is a part of intimacy. Leaving those love notes, leaving, you know, just doing things just because. All of those things come into play as it relates to being able to have that connection and intimacy with your spouse. It just makes things a lot better.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Absolutely. It gets it started, as I said. It gets it started. Yes. Absolutely.
Right. So good. So do you guys have anything to add? Like what do you see as like something that is intimate and that you think that women can kind of incorporate in their marriage, in their relationships, in order to be able to enhance that connection? Because I think all the little things matter. I think the little things that you do for your partner matters. Whether it's that phone call, like sometimes I know that when people get into relationships for a long time, they lose sight of all the things that it took to be able to get them to the point to where they are. Absolutely. And when I say get them to the point to where they are, meaning when you used to call him and check on him, ladies, it's not just him needing to call you and check on you. How's your day going? You know, just the little things. I love yous throughout the day. Sending those flowers. What about sending him an edible arrangement just because? What about just doing things with him and for him just because? Like, these are the things that we can't just necessarily put on one person to do.
That's right.
We both have to be able to do this in exchange with each other if we want to keep up the intimacy going. So Stephanie, tell me, like, what do couples do when there's a problem? What do they need to do? With intimacy.
Somebody needs to kick in. First of all, communication. I was just talking about this on Monday. Communication. You got to communicate. If you know, I mean, my husband, you know, he got enough love for everybody. He just oozes love, right? Okay. So I had to work on that. But because I know that he likes that, he's an affectionate person, I have to work on being more affectionate as well. You know what I mean? It shouldn't always have to be him. He needs to know that I love him as well.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So I try to do little things, stuff that he's not looking for, because basically me and my husband both are givers. I married a giver and he's a giver. You know, we're both givers. So a lot of times he'll beat me to doing some things. So if I want to cook him breakfast, I have to hurry up down the steps and go ahead and cook him breakfast because he's already going to get it started. You know, he's the type of person that wants to put a smile on everybody's face. Okay. So I have to beat him to it to show him that I appreciate you as well. It doesn't always have to be you. I can cook you breakfast as well, or whatever.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So Stephanie is saying if you have intimacy issues, then you need to communicate. You have to be able to communicate. Communication is key to any type of relationship, whether it's friendship, a marriage, a boyfriend, a spouse, whatever you got going on. It's key to any relationship. So
and I will say this, because a lot of times men carry a lot of stuff. So if you see that your husband is being quiet, you know, I mean, he's not really saying a lot. Normally he's bubbly and maybe, give him a little nudge, give him a little hug, a little something, let him know I'm here. Like, you need something, you all right? What can I get you? Bring him something to drink or whatever, just to see if he can, he might have something going on that you may have to get him to communicate.
And I like that. I like what she said, because oftentimes that's what men do, because they don't want you as their woman to really know what it is that's going on with them, or to worry about what's going on with them, or if they're concerned about something. I mean, it doesn't make sense for the both of y'all to sit there worried together, right? So in addition to the, if you have intimacy issues about the communication part, you definitely, what about those women who have difficulty with intimacy, like receiving like the intimacy? Like what happens when you, or do you guys know someone that's like that have a problem receiving like the love, the affection, the, all those things? I don't want you touching me type situation. I don't want you looking at me. Don't call me. Don't, what's up with that?
I'm going to say for me, like I said, I've been in a long-term relationship and I'm in a new relationship. So there is a lot of intimacy. But for me, I think it comes down to how you're raised and what you saw growing up. A lot of times it goes all the way back.
Okay.
And me and my family, a lot of it is assumed. Like we got mad love for each other, but we don't say a lot of I love yous.
Okay.
So when I got with my husband, he said a lot of I love yous.
Okay.
I'm like, man, okay, we saying I love you a lot. Okay. But for me,
like,
I was more, but I was more like, okay, hey, give you a hug. I'm good. That's how I show love. But for him, he was vocal with his love. So I had to change, as I always talk about, and be more vocal. Now, he never said anything about this, but sometimes when people are doing something to you, that's how they like to also receive it. That's why they're doing it.
Yes.
He's making sure that he knew that I felt love, but I wanted to make sure as well, since I'm a person that don't necessarily say I love you all the time. I do more display of I hug you or something like that. That shows that I love you. I do things for you. So there's ways to show it. But he was more vocal, saying that he loved me. So I said, okay, well, maybe he needs to hear it as well, as he tells me a lot, so let me tell him as well.
Okay. Well, guys, hi, Marshalina. Hi. So if you guys are just joining us, we are speaking about intimacy issues as it relates to relationships and women, how we receive intimacy, how we give intimacy. So the most recent thing that Stephanie just went over is when you have difficulty with receiving intimacy. Because as women, especially if you've gone through a lot of things in life, and then, we have the tendency to question. I know because you married, but I know as a single person, we sit here and if a guy comes to you and they're just too nice, you look at them like, what's wrong with him? Is it something wrong with him? Especially if you haven't been used to receiving certain things. Yeah. And it's like, man, he real nice. Why is he's real nice.
I tell my friends all the time, there are still nice guys in the world.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting.
I'm trying, y'all. You should.
I'm
because
trying, you guys.
There are nice guys in the world. But believe it or not, my husband, I said the same thing about him. I'm like, okay, if you this nice, why are you divorced? I really did. He would tell I was horrible. I was horrible, y'all. I was horrible. But I had the guard up because of my past experiences. And that's probably the same with you. You had the guard up. Like you said, well, he's nice. Okay, why is he being this nice? But there really are nice guys.
Okay, well, look, we have to be open.
Yes.
I guess that's what Stephanie is telling us. We
Yes.
have to be open to receiving. If you have intimacy issues due to some things that have happened in your past, due to bad relationships that have occurred, if you have intimacy issues and receiving,
that's right.
we should say, I'm going to keep looking.
Yeah.
Then, yes, Valerie, you have to keep looking, honey, because
Val is
I'm
super
still
nice.
looking too, Valerie.
So, and Val is a giver, and I think you heard me earlier when I was saying Val that I'm a giver and I married a giver. That's a great combination. Like, you have to try to beat each other to the niceness, you know, because I'm used to taking care of people. He's used to taking care of people.
Hey, Karen, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank Karen.
So in not only just being open and communicating about the intimacy issues, but as women, we have to be able to say, okay, you know what? We have to differentiate who this person is versus who those other persons were. Yes. Because if we close ourselves off to receiving those type of things, then we wonder why we get the knuckleheads. I'm talking to us like single women that's still out here dating like myself. You know, then you get knuckleheads and you trying to figure out, oh, I think I kind of did like it when so-and-so, you know, was giving me flowers. Or, oh, I think I kind of did like it when, you know, he was taking me out. I ain't have to worry about doing all this. You know, he was coming and beating me to open my door, fuss at me if I try to get out the car real quick. You know, we just have to be open to receiving the intimacy. And if you have a problem with that, it would be in your best interest to be able to get whatever help, get whatever therapy you need, to be able to deal with whatever issues that you may have as it relates to being able to receive intimacy from your partners or your mates. Because I mean, intimacy is a part of being in a relationship. That's whether it's physical, whether it's sexual, whether it's, you know, touching, all of those things, because your mate is going to want to kiss you. Your mate is going to want to hug you. Your mate is going to want to do all these things. So as a woman, if you have issues with receiving those things, then it's going to be a problem in your relationship, and it's going to continue to have problems. Now, there are some things that may happen that may cause you to want to pull away from those intimacy issues, especially if you're in a marriage, and especially if you're dating, or you're in a supposed to be monogamous relationship with someone, such as cheating, you guys. Yeah, I said it. So, Stephanie, what happens if the intimacy issue is related to an infidelity?
Well, I don't know that I'm a good one to speak on that, because for me, I'm out.
You leaving?
I'm out.
You ain't doing it?
Not doing it. I ain't got it in me. I might need some more counseling on that area. I'm out. I'm out. Now, no, it's not. No. You don't get a pass on that. No. I'm a real good person. They're a real good person. We may have hit a bad patch or something like that, but I believe, especially because I have been married a long time. I mean, in 25 years, 30 years, you guys, you don't love that person every day. Love is up, down. You like them 1 month. You don't like them the next month. You love them for 3 more months. That's how it is when you're married a long time. So you're supposed to, I mean, it's for better or for worse. You're supposed to stick in there and hang into that thing. But like when I got married this time, me and my husband had our, what do you call that? The deal breakers. And that's what it was. I'm out. Okay. Because I, for one, that's just me. Now, a lot of people can pray and push through it and all that. That's one thing that I just particularly cannot push through. And that's just me. Now, some people do it. They go to counseling. They work through it. But I know you got to know yourself on that one. I believe that would be hard for me. Not that I wouldn't forgive you, because, I mean, you got to forgive to move on. But I wouldn't forget. I wouldn't forget.
Hey, you guys. So, hi, Karen. Hi, Rachel. Thank you guys for joining us. So, what we're discussing right now is we're talking about intimacy issues, right? So, hey.
Hey, Rachel.
So, as it relates to what happens, we've talked a few minutes about, intimacy and women not being able to receive intimacy. We talked a little bit about intimacy issues, how to reconnect with your partners, and as it relates to intimacy issues. And so more recently, what Stephanie just gave you guys is information about what happens if your mate cheats. What happens if infidelity is the reason why you are having intimacy issues?
And I do want to say this. When me and my husband talked about it in the new marriage, I mean, it was both of our deal breakers.
Okay.
So it wasn't just my deal breaker. Mm-hmm. It was his as well.
Okay.
Because sometimes it's on the other side.
Right.
So for him, he said, I'm around here doing all this, making sure you got flowers and everything else. No.
You better be happy.
Exactly.
So I have had clients, right? I have had some clients, even some high profile clients, actually, when I had my private practice, who had gone through some intimacy issues. And most of the intimacy issue was related to the infidelity, but it was more so about the trust. Because I think for women, for us, we have to have that trust. Rachel said, I agree with Stephanie that you have to know yourself. Yeah, for some, cheating is a deal breaker. For others, it is not. Good point. That's right. Absolutely. Hey, Nikki, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Mm-hmm. Like, I totally 100% agree with that, because I think I was on a live with another friend who had asked about some relationship deal breakers. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I said to her was that if you're married, cheating, it makes it hard to leave. Like, you can't just be out. Mm-hmm. It's a whole lot that comes along with it. But knowing yourself and knowing that you don't feel like you can regain that trust, you don't feel like you can reconnect with that person, you don't feel like you're ever going to be able to move past it in order to completely give of yourself to that person, to be able to forgive, and move forward, then that becomes a personal thing, and you have to know, like Stephanie said, you have to know yourself. But if I'm just dating you, like, I'm single, for real, I'm single, y'all. So I'm single. Mm-hmm. So if I'm dating somebody and they are cheating, I'm out. Yeah. It's easy. There's no papers attached. Mm-hmm. There are no houses, no children, none of those things that's attached. I'm shooting you the deuces, because that's not something that I have to deal with. If you don't make a good boyfriend, then I know you're not going to make a good husband. And and like when people ask me, could you, why you not married? I could have been married and divorced twice. I could have, but if they were cheating, they were cheating. So why would I put myself in that situation? Absolutely. Because I just, it would make it dating, you get the deuces. Bye. Exactly. For real, Rachel. That's right. You got to keep it moving, because
exactly.
We don't have.
That's right, Val.
Yes, Valerie. Next.
That's what I'm saying. Me and my friends, we ain't doing it. Negative.
But for us single folks, it's easy for us to say next. Yeah. Because we don't have no strings attached. We don't have all that. Yeah. So the intimacy as it relates to infidelity is definitely, I'm worth so much more. Yes, absolutely. You are, Nikki.
I'm so glad you know it, Nikki. That's what I'm talking about.
Worth so much more, because don't nobody have time for that.
Yes.
Not at all. Mm-mm. So if you're dealing with like intimacy issues as it relates to an infidelity, you have to do what's in your best interest. You have to do what you feel in your heart to do. It's not up to me. It's not up to Stephanie to say, leave your mate, because that ain't realistic. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Do what you got to do.
Yeah. Do what's best for you.
If you feel that you got to work through this, then do you. Mm-hmm. And that, I mean, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. But in the process of doing those things, you have to make sure that if you say that you're going to do it, if you say that you're going to work through these intimacy issues, then you have to be fully 100% committed to doing that thing. Because if you don't, it's going to make it worse. Because you're going to hold...
Tasha.
Hey, Tasha.
Yeah.
So then you're going to hold on to that resentment. You're going to hold on to that anger. And these intimacy issues that we're talking about today, they're going to get worse. Mm-hmm. They're going to get worse because you're not going to want that person to touch you. You're not going to want that person to look at you. Yep. You're going to roll your eyes. You're going to be bringing up old stuff. You're going to do all kinds of things, right? So if you are faced with those intimacy issues as it relates to infidelity, make sure that even if you, because as a counselor, even if you have to go get your own therapy outside of the marriage stuff, you know, because sometimes you have to do that.
Just need that other person to talk to.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you have to do that. It definitely makes it worse. Yes, it does.
What'd she say?
Yes, it does, Nicole. It makes it much, much worse.
Yeah.
And Nikki said, especially when you have been doing everything by yourself and maintaining everything, a man brings to the table is extra. Me, because I'm spoiling myself off the rip. That's right, Nikki.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I wanted to add, you know, we talked about it's harder to just say next because you're married. But a lot of times I think we stay because of lifestyle.
Yes.
But
yes.
To tell you, for me to start over after almost 30 years and then to get remarried, you may be really totally missing your next great life.
Wow.
So I just want to put that out there because people stay, it's not getting any better, and they just don't want to give up the lifestyle. They don't want to give up the house, the car, or whatever you guys have built together. It is material. And when I promise you, that next life could be just so much more awesome.
Yes.
Can we get anybody to comment on that if anybody has done that? Because I think it was worth it for me to walk away because stuff is stuff and you can re-get stuff.
Hey, Darlene. Hey, Stephanie. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yes.
Thank you guys. So we're talking tonight. We are speaking about intimacy issues. So we've discussed a little bit about how sometimes women have difficulty receiving intimacy issues, not receiving intimacy issues, but receiving intimacy. But as it relates to past failed bad relationships, so they have a difficulty receiving when the nice person comes along and want to, you know, provide them with hugs and kisses and send flowers and be all nice and kind because they're used to those persons who didn't necessarily do that. So it makes it difficult, and we kind of question, like, you being too nice? What's wrong with you?
And really, love does not hurt. I learned that from another therapist. Love does not hurt. But Tasha is asking, when is enough enough? Enough is enough for each individual person. That could be different. That could be different. So somebody may forgive one time infidelity. Another person, you know, they may let you get by with the one time. The next person, 2 times. That's it for them. For me, Tasha, you missed that part. One time, I'm out. I cannot... Knowing myself, you just ruined our whole foundation. So and I can't do it. I
so
can't
Rachel
do it.
says, Stephanie, she said, I agree, Stephanie, material and lifestyle can be regained. However, it is a long road to overcome emotional, verbal abuse, etc. Absolutely.
Absolutely
it is.
And it doesn't even have to be verbal, like you said, that emotional, the manipulation, all of that. Because I know when I was going through my divorce, you know, I was pretty much told, well, you're going to be single the rest of your life. I'm like, that's a negative. I ain't have nobody. What?
Not so.
That's a negative. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have, and actually I said, I'm going to have a husband. I ain't even say no boyfriend. I was like, it's a negative. I'm going to have a husband. Because you got to know, ladies, you got to know that you're a good person and what you bring to the table, and trust and believe. You just got to have that strength. If you're at the point of enough is enough and you walk away, that your next blessing is down the road.
And Tasha, just to piggyback on what Stephanie said, when you speak about enough being enough, enough is enough when you are sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's when enough is enough. Because when you get to the point where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's when you're at the point to where you're ready to make a change as it relates to relationships, as it relates to anything that's going on in you're sick and tired of some behaviors or some decisions or some things that's going wrong, or that this person keeps basically taking advantage of your kindness and your goodness and your because you want to be that loving wife, or you want to be this great person who you are. Enough is enough when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. Because when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, like, I'm fed up. Like,
and nobody can tell you when that is.
It is
nobody can tell you when that is.
That's it. And because every person, like Stephanie said, every person has their limit to what it is that they want to deal with, to what it is that they choose to continue to put up with in life. And what she might not be able to do, I might be able to do. Because we all have that different resiliency as it comes to things. So we might be able to take a little bit more, just like people in pain tolerance, right? Some people have a higher pain tolerance than other people pain tolerance. Absolutely. Somebody might get pricked and they about to die. But somebody else can go through all this other surgery, having children. Let's just talk about that.
Right.
Having children. Some people can just go through the birthing process, and we know that it's very painful without any medication.
That's me.
But some people need some medications to help them. So that's when enough is enough. It varies from person to person. It varies. So,
and let me say this. I'm speaking from somebody, me myself, of being in a long relationship. So I know that life is short, and that's why I'm saying I can't do it. Life is exactly someone knowing their own worth, but life is short. So we kept working it out, and really we probably should have ended it long time ago. So now we wasted this time. I could have been on to my next life, but in reality, it ended when it was supposed to end, and I'm in the life that I'm in now at the right time.
Right.
But what I'm saying is life is short. So continue to try to, hope and pray that this person is not going to do it again. I myself just prefer to remove myself from the situation, remove myself, and let you go ahead and do you, and get on to the next life.
So Tasha, you guys, Tasha said, I think it also depends on someone knowing their own worth. And Tasha is absolutely right. She is absolutely right. Hi, Erica. So when it comes to knowing, you definitely have to know your worth when it comes to enough being enough, because some people take advantage of that. Some people will, like I always say, people will do to you what you allow them to do to you. And that is just point blank, period.
And that's one of those areas that I feel that if you give them a slide, that, well, she gave me a slide once. If I happen to get out here and get caught up, maybe she'll give me another slide. That's a negative from Stephanie. Now some of y'all are better than me in that area. That's just one area that I don't waver. Because the tiger doesn't change its stripes. Some people do. Some people do, Erica. Some people do. I'm not gonna put everybody in the same boat, because some people grow up and realize, like, oh man, I can't believe I hurt my family. I did that to my family. Some people do. But for me, I know it's too devastating for me. I wouldn't be able to come back from it. You got to know yourself.
So Erica said, I will remove myself because the tiger doesn't change its stripes. And Stephanie agreed to disagree that sometimes people do change. And sometimes people can realize and have some type of remorse for the things that they've done and how it has affected the family. And so they do change. But I think, as it relates to that, as people being able to change, I do believe people can change. However, I do think that, like, if you give them a second chance, I do kind of feel like they might try to take advantage of it. I know that sometimes that happens. Like, ooh, she did it one time, so she really didn't mean it, you know, when she said she was gonna leave, or she really didn't mean it when she said she was done, or she really didn't mean it. So it's almost like you kind of stuck to put your foot down and go ahead and walk out or leave, just so that they'll know that you for real.
Absolutely.
Is that what you gotta do?
I mean, I feel you do. That's just what I feel, because it's just, I would be so horrible, you guys. I mean, my husband would have to do so much to try to get me back. He would just be mad at me at the end of all that he had to do. So when I finally came back, it would be just a whole different type of relationship. And I know that we couldn't be able to get back to the love. So that's for me.
Look.
Good statement, Erica.
Look, and then look, just like she said, they're really gonna have some intimacy issues, okay?
Yeah.
Because it's hard. It's hard to bounce back from when somebody has, you know, cheated on you. It's hard. It's hard. And let's talk about how it affects, like, if you already having intimacy issues due to infidelity, you know, the things as women that sometimes we internalize,
right?
And we think that it's our fault. And so if we're thinking that maybe that we're not doing something properly, that's going to even create more intimacy issues. What did she say?
Does this go for dating or marriage?
I think
she spoke on the dating topic probably before you came on.
I said dating. Just to recap on that. If you're dating someone and they're cheating on you, why? Why continue with that? Because then you're gonna get married later on, and they're still gonna cheat on you.
Because you said if you're not a good boyfriend.
If you're not a good boyfriend, you definitely won't make a good husband. I could have been married and divorced twice because they both cheated. They both asked, and I said no. Because I was not going to get myself trapped in a situation or stuck in a situation to where they were already cheating as a boyfriend. And then it would have made it okay for them to continue to cheat while we were married. And then I'm stuck having to deal with those issues, right? And that would have created several problems.
Okay, so now she's saying marriage is a different story.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely. I say it is. If I say that it makes it more difficult to leave. But Stephanie is saying what?
Negative. It does not. It doesn't. But you got to know yourself. And it's not that I wouldn't want to save my marriage. That's not what I'm saying. What marriage would it be? I wouldn't be the same. You know, he may totally want to change his stripes and do the right thing by the family, but I would never be the same. So basically, I would ruin it, I guess. So it wouldn't be able to go forward because I wouldn't know how to push through that. And y'all, I'm resilient, y'all. I mean, when I tell you I have pushed through some things, I have pushed through for you guys coming on late. You know, I've lost a child. I've been through a long marriage, got divorced. You know, had to put my big girl pants on and you know, make it happen for me and my daughter. But that right there, I just, it would never be the same. You can't get it back for me, you know. Yeah. But I kudos to the other ladies who can go to counseling, who can forgive. Because like I said, I can forgive. I just couldn't forget that. Because like I do believe that all of the other stuff would come into play. It's like, well, what made him do that? And why wasn't I enough? And all of that. So,
yeah. So infidelity contributes a lot to being able to maintain that intimacy. So Erica says, marriage is till death do us part, and you have to honor your vows that you made before God, but don't, what did she say?
But don't allow yourself to be stupid.
But don't allow yourself to be stupid. Absolutely, Erica. I totally agree with that statement. It is till death.
That's what I said. I would want my marriage to work, but
and I think, you know, for me, the reason why I did not move forward with marrying those individuals who were cheating on me is because, like, I'm like this dedicated and loyal person. And I know that you are too. But I don't know. It's just something about me that makes me like, okay, we got to stick this out. Like, we got to work through this. And I feel as though, you know, if you've done all that you can do to get through it, I mean, try counseling. You can try counseling. You can try everything.
It takes two people, though.
It absolutely does.
It takes two people. And of course, the person that messed up is so, I'm sorry. You know, and I'm sorry. It works for a second. I'm serious because it's there. The wound is there. So I need more than I'm sorry.
Right. That's right.
For me.
That's right.
It would be a difficult thing for me. Yeah. But again, we say, do you believe there is an An actress and an actor in every movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely. There is an actor. So Tasha asked you guys, do you believe that there is an actress and an actor in every movie? Mm-hmm. And yeah, it is. And by movie, she's saying like in the relationship.
In your life.
In your life. Mm-hmm. Because there are some people that are going to be real, and there are just some people who are going to be put on.
Mm-hmm. I mean, because basically that you don't want to be here no more, but you ain't got yourself together. So of course, you're going to try to work it back out with me, as in the same time when you're trying to work on this next plan. Mm-hmm. Well, let me help you with that.
You're going to get on with the get on?
It's a negative. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to sound so cold, y'all, but only because I spent so many years.
30
so
y'all.
Many years. 0. So many years. Life is so important. You got to get your life. And it can be so happy. And you can be with somebody that really enjoys being with you and you're having a great time. Mm-hmm. I mean, the kids are happy. I mean, life is just wonderful. And you would miss that playing and hoping over here. I can't negative.
Thank you, Karen. We're glad that you're loving it.
We're trying to be as open and honest as we can. We're being vulnerable. And we appreciate you guys with the questions and being vulnerable.
Yes.
You think have we beat this one up? I want to get in at least one more topic.
The meeting in the ladies' room conversation. This is what we are about.
Yes.
And this is what we are here for. And we are so glad that you guys are also joining in.
Yes.
So you want to get in on another conversation?
Yeah.
So let's recap really quick, you guys. So we talked about the intimacy issues. That was our first topic of today. And we discussed a little bit about, so you guys can watch the replay if you missed anything. Mm-hmm. We discussed a little bit about intimacy as it relates to women being able to receive it. Intimacy, like what to do if your intimacy is lacking in your relationship, things that you can do to kind of bring that back alive. Yes. And we also spoke a little bit about, not a little bit, a whole lot of it, about about infidelity and how it affects intimacy. So, Stephanie, we're going to move forward with something else. But you guys, guess what? So if you still have more questions or more topics or things to say about this intimacy issue, you can email me at info at tlccs.net. Okay, so we'll have that question the next time that we come on, and we can address it possibly a little bit before we do our next topic. Yes. Or you can email Stephanie at
Stephanie Rochelle Consulting at gmail.com. But I'm going to put it in the comment box when we're finished with all of this.
Okay. So, all right.
So we're going to pick one more topic because we're not going to hold you long, but we stayed on that one kind of long, so I just wanted to at least do 2.
Lord Jesus, we talking about self-esteem.
Okay. Well, it goes along with what we were just talking about.
Yes, it does, because who was that? Erica or Tasha that put on there about self-esteem and knowing your worth and knowing your value.
That was Tasha. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that as it relates to intimacy, since it kind of
help us, therapist. Come on, therapist, help us. She is a licensed therapist. Let's hit it. Help us.
So, as it relates to intimacy issues and self-esteem, I think we did hit on that a little bit today about how it makes women question who they are in a relationship, because you think, or we feel like we are the best person in this relationship. Like, I wasn't cheating. It was only about him. I was coming home every night. I was doing this. I was cooking. I was cleaning. I was doing all these things. And yet he still cheated.
Didn't appreciate it.
And yet he still was looking to cheat, or he's still conversing with other people, or he's still doing all those things. So it makes you question, as a woman, your value. It makes you question, like, okay, well, maybe I wasn't doing this right. Or maybe if you sit there and you try to rationalize things in your mind, and you sit there and you try to talk about how, okay, well, I was I was good over here, but maybe it's this part that he doesn't like. You know what I'm saying? And we as women, we try to figure those things out amongst ourselves, knowing that we don't know.
But let me say this.
And hold on, let's read this first. I think that men have the gift of manipulation down.
See, me and Erica
absolutely, Erica.
Come on, Erica. Me and you on the same page.
Hey, Amy.
And that's what I was going to say. Hey, Amy, you have to know who you're dealing with. Because it's like what Erica was saying, the manipulation. You know, they can have you feeling all these things, but that's when it comes down to knowing your worth and knowing what you bring.
That's right.
Knowing what you bring, and that somebody else will definitely appreciate what you're bringing. Because, I mean, because basically, guys, and not to sound hard or like I didn't cry because that was a long time being with somebody, but I was like, this is BS.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, because I was doing all those things. Right. I was taking care of the household. I was making sure he had what he needed and all of those things, and it still happened. So therefore, and then now you're going to tell me stuff like when I decide like I'm out, well, you're going to be single. That's a negative. Again, you see what I'm saying? So it was just BS. You're caught. It's over. I hope it was worth it. Move on in life. Deuces.
Right. So basically, you have to stand in your value as it relates to your self-esteem. Believe them the first time and don't allow them another opportunity.
Who is Erica, girl? We're going to be best friends.
Yes,
Erica, that's me.
You know the saying is, once somebody show you who they are, believe them.
Believe them.
Believe them. I mean, but you know, as we discussed a little bit earlier, you know, you out. Some people stick and stay. Some people try to work it out. You know, you do what's in your best interest. But as it relates to your self-esteem, you have to know your worth. You have to know your value, and you have to put yourself and position yourself to be able to stand against that and know that this person, you can't treat me like this. This is not something you're going to be able to do to me. I'm sorry, but it is not happening. You know, I am who I am. I know that I'm lovable. I know that I deserve somebody who's going to be faithful to me. I know that I deserve somebody who's going to be, you know, the man that I need them to be. I don't have to settle for this because this is all that you want to sit here and offer me.
That's right.
And us as women, we have to know that. We have to know that if things fall apart, we got this. We have to know, because I think it was mentioned a little bit earlier about, you know, sometimes we stay because of the lifestyle, and that's so true. Because a lot of people, you know, you're dependent on that 2 income or that 1 income, or you may be staying at home and you know, they're working or what have you. So you do depend on both of those incomes, and that's how you create your life, especially if you're married. But if you're single and you're doing this, like you have to know that you got this.
That's right.
You know, regardless of if this person walk out the door today, you will be all right. Because you have overcame, you have done things. What I teach most of my clients is how to look. We need to think about what are some of the other things that you have done to overcome. What have you overcame in your past? Some women have overcame molestation. Some women have overcame different things, so many other traumatic experience. Stephanie talked a little bit about how she overcame her son passing away. So we have overcame a lot as women, and we are
resilient.
Yes. And you have to look inside of yourself, and you have to find out what it is about your past that you've overcome. And you need to use that as a strength, and you need to use that as encouragement to be able to move forward, because you are an overcomer. You can do this, and you don't have to sit there and take the things just because it's being dished out to you.
That's right. And honestly, guys, in my situation, and what happens is when you're with somebody for a long time, you're scared to do those things that you're talking about. You're scared to move on and all of that. But it's in there, guys. It's in you. I laid there. I prayed. I talked to God for some months. I got myself together. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Stephanie, let's get this together. You can do this. It's not an easy thing to do, to decide to leave. But when it's time, because of the other things we were talking about, the cheating, the intimacy issues, and all of that, you got to have some conversation with yourself. It's in there, but sometimes it dies down, because I agreed to disagree a lot in my old marriage, Okay. I agreed to disagree to keep the peace. But that old Stephanie was deep down in there. So as these things start happening, and I started praying, I came back to myself.
Okay.
And once I came back to myself, I had the strength to do whatever I needed to do so I can get on to my next life, the life that I have now, the life of happiness, the life of fulfillment. We blended family. We a blended family of bliss. Believe it or not, I didn't even know that could exist. I mean, we like this over here in this camp.
Awesome.
You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
So as women, we need to find self-esteem inside. That's right. That's why it's down in there. It's in there. But sometimes you got to take a minute. You got to take a minute, lay there, pray, talk to God to help you pull that stuff up out of you, because you know who you used to be before you turned into, before you let it get down.
Yeah. So we internalize it.
Exactly.
Don't internalize it. Don't stay there too much. Erica says, I think that knowing your worth comes with maturity. After going through enough BS, you know what. Let's see. What did it say?
You know what you will and will not allow. And you have to stand firm in your decision in order to move on. Stepping out on faith and leaving that situation may be the best decision that you will ever make. I'm a witness.
That's
Erica,
absolutely
I did
right.
it.
That's right, Erica.
I did it. I would not know the life that I have now. It's totally different. Nothing against my ex-husband, actually, really and truly, nothing against him. If he wouldn't have did all that, I wouldn't know that this type of life exists. So thank you.
That's right. Standing in your worth, your value creates you. It gives you strength. It gives you strength that you've never known that you had before. It's scary.
Yeah.
Yes, it can be scary.
Absolutely.
If you choose to leave after something like that, and because it's devaluing you, then it can definitely be scary.
Yeah.
But you have to understand and you have to know, yes, a blessing in disguise. Erica said a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
You have
really
to
was.
know your worth and your value. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes, like I said, if you feel in your marriage that you want to stick and stay, then do that. But in while you're sticking and staying,
right.
strengthen who you are as a person.
Yes.
Strengthen who you are as it relates to your self-esteem. Because, all women, most women, I've counseled so many women through, as well as coaching women who have dealt with infidelity and self-esteem issues. It takes some type of toll on your value. Yeah. It takes a toll on your value, whether women want to agree with that or not. It takes a toll on your value. So if you choose to stick and stay, then you have to do things that's going to encourage you daily. Exactly. You're going to have to do things to build you up daily. You're going to have to do things so that he knows the next time you are for real about what it is that you decided to do. Like you have that strength, you have that that energy, you have that that boldness about you.
Absolutely.
To where he knows, like, buddy, if you do this again, I'm done. Yeah. Like it's a wrap. Because you would have shown him your inner strength. You would have built yourself up. You would know your worth. You would know your value. You would know all these things. And you would know that, guess what? Just because he went out there and did that, that has absolutely nothing to do with who I am. I am all that in a bag of chips. I am always amazing. I can find somebody else who will love me and care for me and all of these things.
And trust and believe. He sees you getting this strength.
Yes.
Because I trust and believe that you walking a little different in this boldness. So whether he want to believe it or not, he can see it.
Yes.
So I think, like you said, he's going to know that, okay, mess up if I want to.
Yes.
One man did not steal your self-esteem. That's right. This happened over several
relationships.
Right. That's
right.
True. That's true. And that's probably why, you know what, Tasha, that's a good point. Because like I said, I had been married for so long and been with him since 10th grade. I didn't have all of the men that had, that I was going through with the different guys and everything. I just had that one. Hey, Shay. I just had that one. So for me, I guess that's why it was even worse, because it was so long. But like I said, we probably stayed too long in it. But that was the main thing that I was thinking about when I was getting ready to go through the divorce. I'm like, man, I wasted all of this time. I can't get them years back. Mess my life up. God dog it. You know, that was my thing. It wasn't so much of the other stuff, because I guess I didn't really have self-esteem issues and all of that because I didn't have the previous relationships.
Right.
But I was just like, man.
Right.
Because I knew I could have been on messing up my life.
Right.
But again, everything happens at the right time for a reason. So, you know, I'm glad it happened the way that it did. I really am.
So you guys, Tasha had mentioned about one man does not steal your self-esteem. This happens over several relationships. And she is absolutely right. It happens over several relationships, in addition to if you've never had self-esteem, if you never had self-confidence, if you never had the self-esteem to be able to be bold, to be able to stand in your value, to be able to be assertive, to be able to have that boldness, to be able to do all these things, it can affect you in that. So thank you, Tasha. We really do appreciate that insight on that, because you're absolutely right. And as you can see from Stephanie, she was like, that didn't do anything for my self-esteem. I was good. I was able to say next, and I was able to keep it moving, because that wasn't gonna...
I didn't have the different men that had kept beat me down, but you know.
Right. And so unfortunately, with preach. So you know, as it relates to all of that, the self-esteem, the intimacy, you know, all of it can kind of come into play. You know, we kind of took self-esteem and matched it with the intimacy issues this time, but I do want to put it back in our fishbowl, only because it can go with so many other topics. You know what I'm saying?
We'll put that back
we're gonna put this back in our fishbowl for next time. We'll see what happens.
Yes.
So Stephanie is one of a kind. So you guys, do you have any more questions for us?
And again, we're gonna start over introducing ourselves. I am Stephanie Rochelle. I am a life coach. I am the relationship rehab specialist. So anything that I can help you guys with, like I said, I'm gonna put my email in the comment box. Please hit me up. We're both coaches. Go ahead and...
And I am D.Renee, the transformation specialist. I support women with overcoming obstacles to help them elevate in life and business. And I would love if there's anybody else who want to have a conversation with me, how I can further help them increase their self-esteem as it relates to transformation in any way. Please feel free to go to my Facebook, my business Facebook page at D.Renee, the Transformation Specialist. You can hit the book now button, fill out your interest application, and book a session to be able to speak with me. Or you can go to my website at drenee.org. That's D as in David, R as in Renee, E as in Edward, N as in Nancy, E as in Edward, E as in Edward,
and we'll type it
.org. So if you guys want to speak with me further, that is how you're going to contact me, and we will put it in the comment section. And join us every Wednesday, you guys. Join us every Wednesday at 8:30. We're going to be having our meeting in the ladies' room conversation. We really do hope that you guys enjoyed this, because I know it was fun for us.
It was fun.
It was fun. It was fun. I like it. So we're going to have meeting in the ladies' room conversation. And what we're going to do next week is we're going to invite one of you guys to join us.
They was just getting into it. I know, y'all. When we start talking about these topics, it can go on and on and on.
Yes,
but again, we wanted to mention, if there's any other topics, because they may not be in our fishbowl, because we're adding to the fishbowl.
Yes.
Put it in the comment. We'll add it to the fishbowl, and just keep coming back every Wednesday, and we'll eventually get to your topic. But I think in the meantime, we all should be learning and growing.
That's right. And if you have anything personal that you don't want to put out here and you want to keep confidential, please feel free to email us. Yes. Again, we've already stated it throughout the video, throughout the stream, but we are going to put it in the comments, so it will be kept confidential. I'm a therapist. Y'all know I'm really big on confidentiality, so your business would not be blasted on the live. We can hear your question in a confidential way, okay?
Exactly.
So, you guys, we really do appreciate you. We look forward to
so
seeing you
much
guys
for
next
chiming
week.
in.
Yes, yes, yes. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Please like, please share.
Please
Please
share.
invite people to join us on this live feed as we continue to discuss the meeting in the ladies' room, because we think it's going to be very, very beneficial, okay?
We're trying to make sure that we as women are empowered. And like I said, we are continuing to learn, grow, be better wives.
Yes.
Be ready when we become wives.
That's right.
You know,
She's getting me
it's
together,
all
y'all.
happening right here. It's all happening right here.
So yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, and happy holidays. We will be here the Wednesday after Christmas, okay?
Yes.
So we will be here. So we look forward to seeing you. Wait, before we end. So what else do you have going on, Stephanie, that you would like for them to join you in?
You can join me in my Mindset Mondays.
Awesome.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. I do that from my personal page, but now that people are joining on here, I can probably start doing it from my business page. Stephanie Rochelle Consulting. So, or you can find me at the Relationship Rehab Specialist. Either way, you can get me on Facebook. But what I'll do on my personal page, I always post a reminder with the link, and it'll put you on over to my business page.
Nicole said, "Great job, thank you, Nicole."
Thank you, Nicole.
Awesome. So, I also have a Transformation Tuesday that you all can follow me on my business page at D.Renee, the Transformation Specialist, or you can go to fb.me/the Transformation Specialist. So we're going to put all those things in there in our comment section.
And
so
we'll send
look
you reminders.
Yes, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week as we continue. There's a meeting in the ladies' room. We'll be back real soon. Good night, you guys.
Good night.